Hey everyone, I'm Rather Incoherent. Today we're going to be doing the Advent Blacksite. The 144 supplies we get don't matter at all. The story progress is what really matters, because Weapon and Item Overhaul has these bridging techs in it. We've seen the ballistic one at work through most of the campaign so far, and we're getting to mag weapons, but the basic mag weapons, things like rifles and bullpups, we don't even build or use those most of the time because they're not meaningfully better than normal rifles, since they lack their tier's bridging tech, so the gap is pretty small. To unlock that bridging tech, and in fact the tier 3 bridging tech as well, you need to make story progress. For the tier 2 bridging tech, we could go get a Codex brain, or much easier, we could go do the Blacksite, which is what we're doing today. It seems really important to me that we do the Blacksite and unlock that bridging tech, not just to continue power spiking right now, but also because there's really no other tech worth doing. We could go psionics, but we don't have room in the base to build a psionics lab. We could go to tier 3 techs, we could start pushing towards that. But again, we're not even done building tier 2 tech. It's really not particularly relevant to push to tier 3 right now. The really huge thing that we could do is get this tier 2 bridging tech. So currently Tygan is twiddling his thumbs while we're out to get him some research material. Let's see how it goes. Before we get into the mission, we're going to take a look at our team. We have Ashen Fortress and Exalted Citadel, the mainstays of our assault missions. These sparks never get tired, and so they see a massive amount of action. It's a big part of why Ashen Citadel is our highest ranked soldier by a wide margin. They've got their reinforced frames for the first time, they both have their plated secondary weapons. I have the advanced Outrider frame on the Incinerator and the advanced scope on the autocannon. Coming over to everyone else, they're pretty close to being in full tier 2, we're not quite there yet. We haven't upgraded the grenade launcher, the auto pistol. We obviously didn't upgrade the Hollow Target, that's pretty low on my list. We don't have quite enough to upgrade everyone, so Steel Guardian's left behind. But barring that, everyone's in Predator armor, everyone's using tier 2 equipment. And it's the first time all campaign that's been the case because of those alloys we got last mission. Now, beyond just having tier 2 for the first time, what are we really looking at here? We've got gas grenades stacking on Lead Coffin and a flashbang as well since he gets duplicates. We have a flashbang on Rumble Peacock, our first field support, and Tracer so that she can actually land her shots with this mag rifle. Pretty much everyone's carrying shotguns, so for once I put a mag cannon on a combat engineer just so that somebody would have a ranged weapon. He's also got the Gauntlet Mark II, smokes, and flashbangs. This is very much the Swiss Army knife combat engineer at its finest. And our two assaults are identical, just one's kitted out much better than the other. Waver Traveler has the tier 2 shotgun and blade to the tier 1s on Steel Guardian, but they're both carrying normal grenade, flashbang, venom rounds. I think we're more than geared enough to take on the Blacksite. Let's see what force level we're currently at. We're just hitting 5. I think we should have no real problem taking out the Blacksite. We're geared enough for it, we're experienced enough for it. Bringing a squaddy along is obviously suboptimal, but I think we've got this. We've started off on one edge of the map, relatively in the middle of it, it seems. Yeah, pretty much dead middle on the bottom edge. All the way across is the Blacksite, as you might expect. Let's get moving forward, figure out where the enemies are at. Something I never noticed until I was actually reading the descriptions of the specific sparks to refresh myself is that Exalted Citadel doesn't have the detection range penalty that the Pioneer does. He's completely safe to be moving forward as our first soldier. Ashen Fortress, I'm just going to put over here in the corner cover, not moving him more forward than anyone else ever. That man is built to get caught. And we see far enough left that I think we're safe just piling in along the wall here. Although, having done it in this order, I might easily body block someone else from getting where they need to be. It looks like we're okay.
On the move.
So that's everyone sprinting forward. Let's go see what Advent is doing during their turn. Alright, we've got a sectoid, a couple of troopers heading towards us. Nothing too bad here.
Got an enemy squad here.
We can hear somebody in the doors opening over in that building, I think. I thought it would be that door. Is there a door on this side? It must be all the way over here. I heard another big metallic thump when I did that. That could have been my own sparks, though it is my turn. Now, you can see that I can't get anywhere near them. I think what I want to do is fall back onto the high ground this turn. So first step, let's move Ashen Fortress up and see if we're accidentally pulling somehow. And I'll move him all the way to this corner piece. My sniper, if I had one, would want to be up there, but I very much do not have a sniper today. I'm going to move my infiltrator to the other side of this. I don't foresee anyone coming over the edge right there. It seems very unlikely. And if anyone is walking around over here, they won't be in range to flank us. As for the rest of my soldiers, like I said, we're just piling into the high ground, at least as far as we can. Which doesn't appear to be very far at all for some people.
Go, go, go.
You know, at least get these two where I wanted. These last ones, however, not making it where I needed them. Lead Coffin can at least get up top.
Go, go.
My Templar could get up top, and Wayward Traveler could as well. They'd be pretty far back, though. And these are more or less melee classes anyway. So instead, I think I'll be moving them down on the bottom. It looks like one of them's going to have to take the cover further in the back. That's fine. They're still moving forward generally towards the enemies. These not being on high ground isn't nearly so important as the rest. Let's see if we get eyes on whatever was stomping around and opening doors above us. We still hear them opening doors. They're very near. And the sectoid turns around immediately, not going to be near a high ground ambush off today, it seems. So I'm going to use Exalted Citadel and Blue Move Bug to here, and see if we can't see what's happening over here, because we know somebody's opening doors in the neighborhood. Still no. There are so many great spots for snipers on this map. I really wish I had brought one. Unfortunately, being knee-deep in the fatigue spiral, we really can't choose to bring classes right now. We bring the mechs and whoever's available. I'll move Ashen Fortress to this corner piece here. See if we spot anything out in the courtyard. If not, we can start trying to move up more aggressively. Is this corner cover? Because if so, I'll drop the Ashen Fortress over the edge into it. Yeah, it is. I'm going to drop Ashen Fortress off here just to have him not taking up space where my other units are. Oh, he saw something. This could potentially be bad. We might be pulling. Oh, we're just close enough to the facility to trigger the cutscene. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I've always been confused about this specific cutscene because, you know, it's just a picture of the place you're moving through. You can tell what it is. Anyone who is curious about these can literally just zoom in on them. You can just hit T. And like, oh, hey, look, it's people in there. Never understood why that cutscene existed. Because the only people it's showing anything to are explicitly the people who don't care. I'm thinking I might be getting on top of the main building and fighting. That sounds really dangerous. Is there another building over here I could go to? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna hold off on moving the Pioneer. I've changed my mind on what we're doing. We're going to cut across and go to this building to get our ambush instead. Going to Blue Move first in case maybe there are aliens inside this building. If there are, then my headphones are rolling backwards because I've been getting clear left signs from those doors. It looks like we're good to move here. We can't get nearly as close as I would like this turn, but we can get started.
On the move.
I think I'm going to start this with Overdrive on my Spark and just shoot the Stun Lancer. I've got a bunch of shotguns, I can chip him down. We can definitely afford to Overdrive and shoot here. I'm a big fan of stacking experience on Exalted Citadel to get him ranking up. And I think the Stun Lancer is the thing we'll have the hardest time dealing with. Our Templar can definitely just guarantee kill the Sectoid, same with our Tier 2 Sword Assaults. They scatter towards us, that's fantastic. First things first, Templar, do you have the ability to one-shot a Sectoid off the bat? You don't. That's okay though, because I'm pretty sure that this Experimental Blade does. Oh wow, you don't either. Travesty. Well, you're our best shot though, so let's start with that. 66% chance to kill, and if we miss, we have plenty of ways to follow it up. Alright, Sectoid down, problem solved. This is what we were afraid of. This is why we overdrived our Spark. Now, that bombardment protocol that I was holding off on a second ago, I can get it here, deal with 3 troopers. Sounds brilliant. Send in the bit. Very nice. Also making a lot more noise to attract those enemies, because we don't want to leave our high grounds. Now our best shot here is an 88 on this striker. That's pretty gross, honestly. I think I take that. Did work this turn, Exalted Citadel. Usually it's Ashen Fortress stealing the show. This move should be safe. I can't see any way they get on top of the train to flank me. And from here I've got a shot on the Stun Lancer, a shot on the Trooper. That's really it. I'll take my shot on the Stun Lancer. I should have shot the Trooper, actually. It was the exact same odds, but if I had shot the Trooper, I'd be closer to, like, slash and then reposition to full cover down here. Didn't realize it until too late, unfortunately. My Templar can kill this heavy, guaranteed, and then reposition all the way down here, I believe, so that's a good thing to be doing with him. And then I can slash over the half cover to kill the trooper. We wait for the very long momentum animation to finish. Come on, any day now, Templar. And now we can run back here, grab the loot, get in half or full cover. Full to most of these guys. It's pretty hard to get to the half cover angle. Basic bipod, not a huge deal. We can definitely kill this with our assault. He's obviously got it handled. But we want to be sending our spark forward anyway. His job is to tank the fire, so we may as well be doing that. And this double pull has gone incredibly smoothly. No risk whatsoever. How did you break anything back there? What did you do? It appears to be fine, but please don't do that, sir. I'm not going to run forward here. I'm just going to overwatch. I don't want to pull a third pod at the end of the turn. If I move down here, I'll have line of sight on the other two enemies. We're probably not going to be getting good high ground shotgun blast from this far away. This is a 12 and a 7, not particularly good, but we can just chuck a gas grenade onto the sectoid. That'll get him down to one-shot range for a bunch of other methods. Obviously, we can just kill him with a Templar or melee like we did last time, but that requires us to sprint full forward and might not be the best strategy. And besides, poisoned and disoriented, he's no longer a threat whatsoever. I'm just going to move forward behind my spark. Actually, I don't feel like getting grenaded on this character. Well, it's a shame I've done what I did then, huh? We are just out of incendiary range here, I think. So as long as the Purifier doesn't run forward, we should be fine, which means a plethora of overwatches is probably the way to go. I'm going to leave that assault right where he is. Hulking Cardinal. Random thing, I only realized this today when I was making my thumbnails. Hulking Cardinal is a combat engineer. I've had him with the Sapper line for so long. And like, I get why. He's pretty brown, he's not explicitly orange with this hex pattern. But man, I was embarrassed as hell when I realized that Hulking Cardinal had been with the wrong classes for the entire campaign on the thumbnail. Anyway, we're too far back to see anything, but an Overwatch here helps stop the Purifier from running forward, not doing anything with this breakthrough move. Hunter's coming in, of course he is. The sectoid has a grand total of 25 aim right now, good luck. The Hunter is finally making his interest, but he's still shell-shocked, and for once we have a Templar on the mission. He is beyond screwed. Thanks for the additional armor, I really appreciate that. Alright, he is just running forward, and the cannon did its job. Also, we can see a pod right there. We saw at least 3 admin and 1 sectoid in it. This is precisely why we didn't run forward last turn. I think maybe the Purifier did explode and it just didn't animate based on the train suddenly falling apart and being on fire unprompted.
Just got hot in here.
Alright, that pod did in fact pull. It's another pod of 4. We got Gunslinger, Sectoid, Sniper. Oh, another pod of 4, I think. There are a lot of pods of 4 on this map. They aren't the biggest pods, but there are so many of them, and we have attracted all of them. This is precisely why I said we can't run to this high ground. We have to attract attention back here. Jesus. I've got no line of sight from here. There are overwatches going off because of yellow alert, so let's figure out where we want to put this guy. Let's not forget, I could just win. I try to avoid using Supernova, really, because it feels grossly unfair. But I could just do this. And if I do anything else, I'm pretending that this isn't an option. Fine. Go be gross, Ashen Fortress. Tank the overwatches because there's nothing they can do to threaten you. And just kill them all with a single button. It looks like it didn't hit this one who was in full cover relative to it. Not quite sure why that is. The turret gets to shoot him for a couple of turns. It really won't matter. Our left flank has been taken care of nicely. Now, we have the poison sectoid here hanging out on the poison. We have another full health sectoid here. If I were to move here and take the stab, I can fall back 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles into full cover. That sounds eminently reasonable to me. This time we did low roll. We'll have to follow it up with a shotgun blast to finish it off. But it's fine, we're completely safe. We checked our breakthrough range first. Now our Templar is the one that has to be stabbing. And this is the only one he can stab, but apparently this isn't poisonous. This part's okay. So I'm gonna come up here and take this slash. I'm gonna pretend that I angled that grenade perfectly and thought this out ahead of time, but that's not what happens. Another Illyrium core for the pile. We're at full energy now, dealing obscene damage with these gauntlets. Oh, right, we have momentum. I can just drop back into full cover anyway. I am open to a flank on this trooper if he wants to run forward to get it, but I'm not sure he ever would. He has like plenty of flanks from safe locations on Fortress. We do have a stun lancer up that I should probably care about at least a little bit. Rockets only have so much range, unfortunately. The furthest I can get Hulking Cardinal up this turn is going to be this half cover. Let's see if I have anything of value from here. I can always just chuck the grenade. At 3.5 tiles of scatter, it still probably hits one of them and destroys their cover. And I would like to attract the attention of pods that are still further back on the map anyway. So this isn't particularly good. It's a pretty bad rocket, honestly. Unsurprising, the high scatter rocket does a lot less when you're only throwing it at 2 guys instead of like 5. But it was worth a shot, and it'll still attract attention from pods further back. The furthest forward I can move on Exalted Citadel is here. Let's just go see if I get any additional eyes of value. I might Overwatch, I might sprint forward. We have a 68 on that sectoid, but don't care about that at all. I'll take the 53 on the Stun Lancer, actually. Low roll the damage, though, so he's still up. That does put him dead to a shotgun, and we have 2 shotguns available. There's no flank here, but there's... This position is actually unflankable. The train is blocking any location that would have the flank, so I can move Lead Coffin here and take out that sectoid. What I can do is Overwatch here, and when the Stun Lancer tries to run forward, I'll shoot him.
Got it.
And here I can just move forward slightly and pick off the sectoid. It probably is a better play to kill the Stun Lancer, right? Yeah. The sectoid's also very likely to move. The Stun Lancer is the one that's actually going to inflict a huge wound if it stays up every single time. Can I grapple over to this train? Not in one move, but I might be able to do it in 2.
That'll be okay.
Getting high ground bonus back would be pretty helpful. Nope, can't grapple up here, unfortunately. Oh my god, I can use my grapple gun to get the loot? That's hilarious, I love that. I'll just be sprinting forward then, there's nothing really relevant to do back here. Hopefully the sectoid gets finished off or uses its turn to mind control. There's a pretty good chance that its turn does nothing. Advent Trooper moving around but not getting a flank, that's kind of what I expected. Shooting at Exalted Citadel always makes me sad, but it's fine. Didn't even take damage this time. Huh. Lead Coffin's angle is terrible, apparently. I swear to god, when I first scanned that location, it said that I had vision on the sectoid, but maybe I'm just losing my mind. Pretty good face-off. Insofar as having a lot of targets is good. And apparently it only had 4 targets, so never mind. Alright, this is just getting embarrassing, guys. If he had aim tracking shot at Fortress, Fortress literally couldn't have dodged it, but yeah, sure, put it on the assault. What are the odds he moves? We're gonna walk full forward on our spark again. Probably just have to reload this time. No eyes on the turret, that's what I was really concerned about. I do want to stack experience on this Templar. I'll take the stab on the sectoid. Let's see if there's eyes on anything through this huge hole in the building. There's a good chance I pulled something here. Nothing really valuable in the loot.
The elders have plenty more to spare.
If I slash here, I can pull back onto the forklift, so we're safe. I should have considered doing that with someone else, because I don't know I have an answer to the trooper anymore. I just literally forgot that man existed. Our other assault is just barely in range, and we're good. Let's get this trooper out of here. Oh, you're in range. 1%, so, like, not really in range. Always love when the melee animations glitch out and they just sort of punch them a little bit. Both of our characters with moves are still in full cover. They don't need to move forward.
Is it clear?
We're going to move forward to heavy cover here on Hulk and Cardinal, move Rumble Peacock to the other side of it with an Overwatch of our own. Don't want to use either of these breakthrough moves, which needs Lead Coffin, who can sprint into position behind Exalted Citadel, and that'll be our turn. Let's see if anything runs forward. We've been making a lot of noise, but we might have fought everything that wasn't all the way in the back of the map at that point.
Diagnostic required.
It's so gross, man. He's so durable. Nothing. Okay. So I have a 99% kinetic strike here. I see no reason not to take it. Get vengeance on this turret.
Looks like you rolled the dice and lost this time.
He says that every time you get hit, and I don't think he's aware of what Ashen Fortress's job is. Alright, let's try to move up to positions outside the building, which isn't really possible, so I guess let's try to move up as far as we can without pulling Fog of War this turn. Going to move here on Slasher Hawk. On my assaults, we've already cleared a lot of Fog of War over here, just by virtue of where our spark was. Gonna blue move here before I do anything else. At this point, I think I'm comfortable taking this position. That does pull a lot more lives out than I realized I should have routed that. We're good, though.
What's over there?
And we can start moving everyone in the back to full cover. We can drop off our spark over here. We'll Overwatch on Exalted Citadel. Dash on Lead Coffin. Awkward Overwatch with the tier 1 machine pistol there. Back in half cover with an Overwatch on Rumble Peacock, I think. That leaves Steel Guardian and basically no one else. Steel Guardian can run down the same line that we've been running down and get to the melee cluster up here. Hulking Cardinal should be Overwatched. And I guess I Overwatch here on Ashen Fortress.
Commander alive. It's open season on the rest.
Chosen can do whatever he wants. We're in no danger from him.
Enjoy these final breaths.
We're just gonna run forward on Exalted Citadel and see what's inside this building. Nothing. We're gonna run forward on Ashen Fortress and see what's inside this building.
Scanning approach vector.
Yeah, everyone in the building's already sprinted forward. There's usually one pod all the way in the back on this, so I'm expecting to find them at some point, but right now we're in a really, really clean spot. So we're just sprinting everyone forward to full cover where we can. We very quickly ran out of full cover there.
Go, go, go! Affirmative.
Overwatch on Ashen Fortress and Exalted Citadel. Slasher Hawk. Slasher Hawk I'm just gonna put here. It sketches me out a little bit, but I'm pretty sure somebody's already pulled any line of sight to this pulse. No alien activity again. There's still an alien turn though, so I suspect that there is a pod still in the back. Oh, it's this bug. Let me save and reload. This is just a thing that happens sometimes when the game doesn't show Z levels properly. Alright, now we can zoom into the Blacksite facility like we're supposed to. Let's just run forward and see if we spot something. Odds are really good we do this time, and if we don't, then it's just gonna be a pod in the back.
You heard the doctor.
The objective doesn't count. Stop giving me nerves. We heard something to our left. It's probably another turret based on this type of sound I heard, I think. I'm okay with Exalted Citadel just being far forward here. Yeah, still nothing. Let's take our move on Ashen Fortress. I'm gonna move out to here. Yeah, sure, I guess this is the route we're taking. I mean, it probably is faster thanks to jump jets, but it looks ridiculous. Yeah, there's the turret I was hearing. I just wanted to know where this was before I started sprinting people, to make sure that no one was sprinting into vision of it somehow. And we're going to be sprinting in as far as we can on all of these soldiers, because we know that it's safe to go this turn. There might be another turret symmetrically positioned. I don't want to run forward and kill this. I know that I can, but I'm fairly confident there's a pod in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fall back to the furthest forward position I can on Ashen Fortress where I don't see anything. We're going to keep running forward on these people on the ground. There's a couple left. But now that we're here, we can just move forward on our assaults. We know we're going as far forward. Excuse me. Who sees this? Well, none too sure what's going on there.
Not a problem. Affirmative. Covering now.
Anyway, Hulking Cardinal, get in here. It's a bit of a fiasco up top, but I'm sure it'll be fine. The man's built like a tank. Partly because he is a tank.
The Elders created you for this. Now it's time to prove your worth.
Okay, no, it didn't really have line of sight. The game was just freaking out a little bit, as it's prone to do sometimes. Showing you units you shouldn't see.
The most dangerous game? Hardly.
Okay, I'm gonna move Ashen Fortress far forward this time. If we pull a pod this time, we have enough people far enough forward we can probably do something about it. We didn't, though. I'll take the shield bash, and we'll finish it off with a pair of shotguns, or a pair of swords, rather.
Observed.
The mech is high cover, the dead turret's high cover. We can just run everyone forward here and finish it. Probably should have thought about who I'm putting the experience on, but I guess it's going to Steel Guardian. I guess it's going to Wayward Traveler then. Nice eye roll.
Stick and move.
You don't need to break through anywhere, you're good. Let me go see what my dog's on about. Well, I don't see any burglars, so I can only assume that Obi's done his job and chased them away. I don't really want to stack here in case the hunter decides to throw a concussor grenade. So I'll just move up here instead. Gonna run my Templar to the objective, I guess.
As you direct.
Run everyone else further forward. Honestly, the objective's a little bit out of the way. There's not a back door here. I feel like that's a design flaw that can be rectified. Oh, there is a back door here. Well, it's too far for my liking. Did I hit Ashen Fortress? I could have sworn I saw a damage pop up there, but oh well. And now we can run everyone forward and get ready to go out the side here. I'll go here in Overwatch. Just heard a weird sound when I ran Lead Coffin forward. There might be another turret somewhere. Not really sure what that was.
Already there.
Run forward here on Cardinal. Nothing here, nothing there. That's the end. Let's go. What are you gonna do, Hunter? What do you actually have? Nothing. He's taking a page out of the Purifier's book and panicking. Let's grab this objective. Got the Blacksite file. Reinforcements coming down. Not even a little bit afraid of that. We might not have Blade Storm, but we do have Counter-Strike. Let's get our trap in position. Go get on Ashen Fortress. I think everyone else is just going to be running forward to get involved with the fight next turn. Templar's not quite getting where I want him to be, but he can get to full cover up top. If I put a Spark one tile in front of this, then I can use it as full cover for Hulking Cardinal. Perfect, that's exactly as far as my Exalted Citadel can move. I pulled with this somehow. Are they in the very corner of the map?
The all too familiar advent.
That is ill-timed. Holy shit. What do we have to counterplay this? We have both assaults left. I can get the Assault, the Stun Lancer, or the Sectoid here on Wayward Traveler. Hulking Cardinal hasn't moved yet. That's incredibly important. Holy shit. I can move here and smoke Lead Coffin. Here would be safer. It's more guaranteed to have the accuracy I need. A reminder that I have reliable smokes installed. If you're smoked, you go up to 30 cover, like normal. But also, you cannot be flanked anymore. You no longer get the flank crit bonus. Now, my other assault's way further back. He's going to be using run and gun from high ground, it looks like. Which is pretty weak, I'm not going to lie, but it's all he's got. I can also run and gun forward and flashbang. That would probably be better. What's the kill here? I can take the Stun Lancer, the Assault, or the Sectoid. But if I get the Stun Lancer, I'm in enemy territory and can't back out, right? I can actually fall to here. That's still going to get flanked by the Assault, though. If I take the Assault, I'm actually going to be safe, because I can fall out of line of sight. So I want to flashbang these three. We can blue move here, run and gun every time. It doesn't matter that we're wasting the run and gun. It's the last fight of the scenario. Let's see where this flashbang lands. We're real close to where we need to be. We need to be a couple more tiles that way. Which is exactly where I wanted to be, actually. Apparently I've already used run and gun, which is nerve-wracking because I don't remember doing it and I'm suddenly convinced that I haven't run and gun and I'm just ending my turn here. But this is it. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm just terrified that I'm messing it up. Come on, let me do it. I can see it flash sometimes. There we go. The 3 biological enemies that are going to live are going to be disoriented for the turn. Our 1 flanked character is in smoke. And Slash says that this Advent Assault is not a threat to us. Well, it could be, actually. It is a damage roll. It's 6 to 8. 66% of the time this solves a problem. The other time, good.
Would you move in the fire position?
Now, to get back up, is this a climbing point? I can't really tell. I think, no, the climbing points are these things. So I want to be as far to the left as possible. I can also fall this way. That can get flanked by the sectoid very easily, though. I don't want to move here because then I'm flankable, so even though this isn't a good position for getting back up, it's the only position that actually seems genuinely safe. Rumble Peacock sadly hasn't even gotten involved yet. Don't really want to shoot Hulking Cardinal's explosive cover. I'm just going to move here and either shoot or overwatch depending on the angle. 28% is kind of trash. It almost never kills, it's a 50-50. I can potentially grapple back onto the high ground next turn. For now, though, I'm just going to overwatch. Alright, this is not the ambush we thought it was, but it's still going to do some work on this pod. Ashen Fortress gets a reaction punch on every single member of the crew. And there are several members of the crew to punch, dear God. I'm glad Ashen Fortress is here because it turns out we needed to respond to this appropriately. Get him. Let's see how much damage this does. We're at 4.
Armored forces in targeting range.
Oh my god, they're both doing it because they're running towards the other mech. Much less impressive from Exalted Citadel. Oh, what? Am I only allowed to counterstrike once per turn? Is this shit balanced? Well, that's no fun. What about my genius plan? Look, man, I tried. I smoked you, I flashbanged them, I did literally everything in my power to help you.
It hit the plate.
I need a med kit here.
Alright, I'm very sorry about all this, Led Coffin. The good news is we did just build the infirmary. High ground bonuses are a bitch, man. You do not want to be in low cover facing high ground. They are all landing 2 out of 3 shots, though. Come on. Just landed 4 consecutive 66% into smoke while flashbangs. That's brutal.
Or fight. Or something.
We're still fine. It sucks that Lead Coffin's gonna be out for a while, but we're still fine.
Off by a few inches. Assuming there's anything left of this world when we're done. Maybe I'll just let you wipe yourselves out.
Bad news for the enemies. Last turn, my mechs had already moved when this happened. Now we get to respond appropriately. We can just wipe out this, and this seems hard to deal with, right? There's a Stun Lancer in the back that has to die. We have the guaranteed kill with Wayward Traveler if he can reach it. He can reach it. We need to pull some Overwatches. Kinetic Strike on the Stun Lancer seems like a reasonable start. On the mech might be even better, though, considering it's a guaranteed kill. I'm gonna just take a single step to the side to pull an Overwatch first, and then Kinetic Strike the mech. I had to quickly check if the mech was the Overwatch. So something interesting is that this animates really wrong, the actions I have. I've been thinking I just had 1 action I could do anything with. When you get Breakthrough and Relentless, it just combines into a normal action. But up here, you can see that I've got 2 actions, and a couple of times I've like moved and then Overwatched. Because what happens is you get the move only action and the shoot only action. So I can like move here and then shoot. Now that's good, but I probably just want to overdrive on top of it, to be honest. Because if I'm not overdriving this turn, when the hell am I overdriving? These 2 guys need to be dead. Let's make sure it happens. Could I have angled this differently and gotten both of them? It's pretty damn wide. I'm a little bit surprised to see... He must be getting cover from being against me. Otherwise, I don't know how it's that inaccurate against the Advent Assault. Sick overdrive. Really good performance. I've now learned that if you're giving them cover, it will sometimes count, because I feel like I've done this before without them getting the cover bonus, but it's fine. First things first, we confirmed that this bombardment protocol is going to be sick. There's no downside to this. It puts the sectoid in kill range, but doesn't actually kill it, so I realize this is just killing 2 enemies. Probably other comparably good things. The Purifier's not even dead. Well, they're in range for a grenade now, which is still efficient. Let's take out this Stun Lancer 100%. Unless we roll low on damage. Turn's just not quite going to plan today, is it? Why are you so damn accurate? Holy shit. That is disgustingly accurate. Good God.
So it's a battle of the plates.
Didn't low roll damage that time, but still didn't high roll for the kill. We got a lot of cleanup to do after our mechs were done, unfortunately. I think it's fair to say that we need to kill this assault that's at full health. And then from there, we want to fall back to, like, here. That's a flanked position. I'm not sure where we want to go after we kill this assault. I'll come back to that later. This was locked in earlier. We're always going for the Stun Lancer. We probably have to take cover here, which means we really want to clean this area up. I should be able to blue move out and then grapple to the top and then shoot the mech. That seems like the best thing we're going to be getting out of Rumble Peacock today.
What's over there?
So, blue move out, grapple up to cover,
Going up.
and then take the high ground shot at the spark. I probably also had a grenade, but it looks like this is 100%, so that's fucking great. I did not expect this squaddy to have 100% at any range, even with scopes.
Someone your own size.
We can take both of these out with a single grenade. Hulking Cardinal can move to this position and chuck the grenade? Probably, that seems like it's in range. It's just a question of whether or not we get over the cliff edge. And we do, take them out.
Ready for a surprise. Contacts pacified.
So this area's been cleaned up. Now we can safely kill that Stun Lancer. Get him out of here. The flashbang might not have prevented the shots that brought Lead Coffin down. That is unfortunate, yes. But they did prevent the Stun Lancer from moving in and killing someone else. Or at least knocking them unconscious and making this unmanageable. I think the only good breakthrough position is going to be this full cover tree. Doesn't seem like there's any reason to go somewhere else. We've got a Gunslinger, a Stun Lancer, an Assault, a Med Drone, and the Hunter. Active 7. We have something that I'm missing. 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6. I honest to God have no idea what the 7th enemy is, which is terrifying. Steel Guardian can move to here and then shoot the Advent Gunslinger. If he had a run and gun, he could, but that's not the world we live in. So, in terms of dealing with this Stun Lancer, the only place I can move to that appears to have line of sight of it... Okay, so I'm going to move to here and just take my chip kill on the Stun Lancer. I finally found a position that wasn't flanked to do this from. Get him out of the game, finish off that kill.
X-ray down.
Now, I really do want to kill this Assault. It is the biggest threat. It's somewhere in the Fire and Flames, man. Yeah, it's there. Wait, what's down here? Who are you? Oh, there's a Purifier down here. You're the one I forgot. Honestly, I think he's okay. I'm not too worried about him. I'm way more worried about the Assault. The problem with killing the Assault, though, is that it leaves me repositioning in a really awkward spot where I'm probably flanked. I'm gonna go for this Gunslinger. The Gunslinger's still an enemy with a gun that needs to go down, and it's much easier to reposition here and not be in a terrible spot. I say as I realize that's not true. Well, I can always just drop off the edge, which looks like it's what I'll be doing. No, that's not true. I can get behind Exalted Citadel. That's much better.
It's time to meet the
What? Oh no. Guys, it might be time to pick up our Fallen and get out of here. Was not expecting another pod. Remember when I said we absolutely can't fight the whole map at once and we had to get that high ground spot? I'm really happy with that decision, because we really needed to avoid rushing forward and kiting the whole map at once. How many pods are here? It's like 8 or 9? All of 4, admittedly, but still. Counter-Strike probably misses. Nope, alright. The 56 does seem like the right number, because I think he had full cover to us.
Smells like fresh blood to me.
Unfortunately, my Templar getting disoriented. I think that might prevent Rends.
I set the standard.
Wow. Oh, right, yeah, you have vision on her now, because originally you didn't have vision on her, but now that a squad has walked in and revealed her, you have squad sight to her. Gross. Very gross. Fighting this seems outrageously slow and difficult. You're disoriented and can't rend. You could drop down, grab the body, and run over here. I've reloaded my save so I can see how much time you have on lead golf, and it's 2 turns like I thought. I can grab on my Templar and have him out next turn. That's not an issue. The issue is these guys. Rumble Peacock's feeling a little bit trapped. Whoa, that was weird. Guess the game was still loading in some assets. It says that if I move here, I won't trigger an Overwatch. But I have eyes on all of these people doing Overwatches, so that's just a lie. I don't believe that for a single second. Reflex can get me pretty far, but not far enough to kill. However, it can get me far enough to pull the Overwatches for Rumble Peacock, and that's what I actually need to be doing. Okay, this is as far as I need to move to pull the second Overwatch. I'll go 1 tile further. And then I'll pop up to the high ground as well to avoid them having high ground shots at me if it comes to that.
Tracking route to target.
It's unfortunate that we're not allowed to kill with Ashen Fortress at this point in time, but we're getting to do his real job, saving lives.
Imminent threat detected. Triaging damaged systems.
God, he's durable. 3 armor just does such insane amounts of work. Okay, that lets us move Rumble Peacock. Theoretically, we can still fight this, but it's really hard to position in a way that makes that reasonable this turn. Our goal should be to move forward. We get the slash on the Medrone, and the Medrone runs the risk of killing someone this turn by essentially forcing them to stay behind in awkward positions. We'll worry about the breakthrough move later. It's probably going to be here or there. For it to be the top position, it's going to be pretty hard, but we should be out of line of sight to be flanked here, I think. I'm just going to be moving here. I know that's what's happening. Let's just do it now so we can't forget. Templar, you're going to need to drop down and pick up this body. I think that picking up the body is free, but if it's a blue move, it's a problem for me. You can't pick up a body while you're disoriented. That is incredibly awkward for me. I'm pretty sure this Purifier is in range to explode and hit Lead Coffin, so I have to move this body before I do anything. Carry unit is a free action, thank God. The climbing position is here. So moving all the way out to here, I am usually going to be in range to get out next turn and shouldn't really be flankable by anything other than a bizarre move from the Hunter. Nowhere near being able to overdrive this turn. Steel Guardian can't get where I would want him to be this turn, like not even close. Steel Guardians is really out of position to interact with these enemies. I could get like here and shoot down at the Purifier, obviously, but then I'm probably getting flanked at least by the mech. What I could do is move my Spark here and move Steel Purifier here. Most of this cover isn't really available anymore, and even if there is a place for the Hunter to take a flank shot, Steel Guardian's at full health, he'll live. I think this is how I get the most value out of my troops this turn. The Trooper could contribute, though. I need to make sure the Trooper's not contributing with the Hunter towards a kill. Our only piece left on the board this turn that I'm not already accounting for is Rumble Peacock, and Rumble Peacock needs to be running for safety. Which is just this position, really. That's not a great position. I can move here. There are no high ground flanks of this, it's out of the way. I think Rumble Peacock's just running here and trying to get out alive this mission all of a sudden. So we only have 2 shots, we have 3 threats. The Trooper's the lowest threat. The question is just how do we deal with the Purifier? And I think the answer is from smoke. If I'm in smoke, they should be targeting Ashen Fortress instead. I don't have running gun, I only have slash. What I'm even talking about. Steel Guardian's not doing anything useful this turn. I think I moved to here and drop a grenade on the Purifier, but I'm also pretty sure that's in Purifier explosion range. God, Steel Guardian's just in a nightmarishly bad position, and now that all of my cover is unsafe from this direction. This flank has been disastrous. I don't want to leave the Purifier up, because burning grenades could really fuck up my plans. I can blue move repair myself, that's probably relevant. I guess I could have stabilized Lead Coffin, huh? I still can. But I'm at 9 health with 2 armor, I'm probably safe this turn at least. I'm gonna take the stabilize instead of repairing myself. If everyone were to sprint forward and shoot Exalted Citadel, there's really only the mech. We would be looking at the mech, the trooper, and the hunter. Even max damage rolls, I don't think really stand a chance of killing. I can Gremlin heal Rumble Peacock to get her back at fighting numbers of health. Actually, Gremlin healing Rumble Peacock could very well save a life somehow, and allow her to stick around and fight instead of just being dead to the bleed. I think I never have to worry about Exalted Citadel going down this turn. I don't think that's a thing I have to fear. So, I'm not going to heal him. Now, coming back to reality, this sadly doesn't reach the Purifier, otherwise it would be a solution. Alright, the only thing I can do on Steel Guardian is move to here. I've decided that if I'm doing anything this turn, it's moving here. It's the only safe location I have. And we're chucking a grenade at the Purifier for the guaranteed kill. It's not exactly what I want, but I don't really see an alternative.
Hesitate to pull the trigger. I like that. Is that the best?
Now here, I've got a flank shot on somebody, the assault, can't imagine taking anything else. Apparently he's very on fire, I did not know this. Let's see what's happening down here with the mechs. These are the people that are real dangerous to us. Alright, shooting Fortress doesn't matter to me at all. That is his job. If he's taking all the damage from this pod, then this pod is irrelevant. Honestly, he could probably 1v1 all of them. Well, I guess that's called a 1v4, but I still believe that. They'll have Kinetic Strike to one-shot the mech, and he's going to slowly grind through the rest of them. This is actually a place where we might be stabilized and able to finish fighting in the mission. Yeah, they all went for the mech. We've managed to negate this flank. Unlike the first one, the first flank is thoroughly unnegated. Lead Coffins will be in the hospital for weeks. This is what I was worried about with Wayward Traveler, but he'll be fine. The only fear is Hunter crit through cover, but he's taking easier shots on Citadel like I thought he would.
That looks painful. I'm not sure what the elders expect me to do with a planet.
Alright, can you get him out this turn? You can. Alternatively, we could drop him, but that's a blue action. Let's just get him out now. Let's not waste any actions on stabilizing him. Here, I can reload and Kinetic Strike. That's probably what I'll be going for. It's a 93 for big damage. First things first, get the hell out of here. Get Lead Coffin to the hospital. That man's on the A-team. Next, we're going to reload our gun here and Kinetic Strike the Hunter. Just seems like the thing to do. Well, at least he destroyed his cover. If we have a kill, I feel okay about running up there, but I don't know that we do. I can move to here. That gives me a grenade on him almost certainly, right? That's putting him down to no armor, 20-ish health. This assault is going to be busy. This assault is going to be out of range. This guy's still burning. He's actually just dead. I don't need to help. Hunter's out of range of slash, just barely. I can run and gun to half and chuck a grenade. Or full, even. I think we have the kill. We have 2 grenades and the Templar at full energy.
Getting it done.
So I'm pretty sure we have a guaranteed kill on the Hunter. That troop burns to death. Everyone else outside of line of sight to take flanks on this.
This is for you.
I don't think we're able to destroy our evac on account of it being on an actual piece of ground and not a building, but it'll be funny if we manage it. Oh wow, we're not shredding his armor because he has so much shields. Why does he have so much shields? Yeah, I wonder how many shields he had at the start of that. I'm really curious, because I only recall attacking him once. Yeah, we're probably not killing him then, huh? We are dealing a substantial chunk of damage, but we are nowhere near kill. However, I can take the position in the back here and prevent him from going there to use it against my units. 11 is a hefty chunk of damage.
Now I'm getting a
He would almost be dead if he had landed that kinetic strike. Actually, how much damage does kinetic strike do again? I think it deals 9 base right now. He got 2 from it. We'd have been 1 short of killing if we had landed kinetic strike. I did not realize how many shields he had. That first grenade did almost nothing, and I'm genuinely confused about how many shields he had right now. I can take a slash on this mech, but it seems largely pointless. Especially in light of this kinetic strike. Once again, showing who the superior mech is. We have 2 actions here, 1 breakthrough move and 1 action only. You guys don't actually look like you're in the best cover to me. Everyone else is struggling to bring down the Hunter while Ashen Fortress just fights this pod alone. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, if I move forward, you can get stunned by the Stun Lancer and be in danger. So instead, I'm going to leave Ashen Fortress completely alone back there, like he's supposed to be, while Steel Guardian literally runs away because he's not relevant. Burnt to death. Burnt to death.
almost feel bad for them. They've got no idea what they're in for.
Purifier has nothing. The grenade doesn't matter at all. Advent Trooper has nothing. The best his gun can do is 1 damage, simply because you aren't allowed to deal less than 1 damage.
I hope you've got a good medic on the
Let's see what he does. This is the threat. No threat whatsoever. Stop giving him armor, please.
Say goodnight. The elders have never offered up an entire planet as a
Alright, please fix what you've done. I just realized he had cover because I'm against him and should have backed away first.
I bet you
It's fine, though. He's finally dead. Things were going so well until they weren't. Come on, whenever you're ready.
You might be the first to ever take me down.
I'm just getting cover on the neck.
Commander.
Going to reload. Shield bash the trooper.
Target eliminated.
My breakthrough action sadly cannot get me into a flank on the Purifier. So I'm simply going to move back this way
Affirmative.
and not bother using my action only. If I have a blast canister on him, I may as well take it, but it looks like I don't. I guess I'll move into high ground here on Rumble Peacock, just get everyone generally moving towards the evac, but not leaving just yet. Because we can't really leave yet, we have to make sure Ashen Fortress gets out alive. He won't manage without us to defend him, right? Anyway, the Purifier basically can't hurt him. We're really just doing this so that he doesn't need to waste his time killing the Purifier. Do I have eyes here? On an explosive canister the game just really wants me to shoot. We can't leave this turn no matter what I do. So just go Kinetic Strike the Purifier. You're not gonna go, no, he'll explode, but it won't even deal damage to me. Look how many fucks he gives. Look how much damage I dealt to Ashen Fortress, my dangerous, terrible plant. And also, look at the kernel we just got in, like, what is it, late June? Jesus. That is the fastest I've ever gotten a kernel in an XCOM campaign. Anyway, I was going to say, anyway, I'm just going to reload all my guns. But things are a little bit confused now. There we go, I got the rocket launcher off my screen. I'm not quite sure what happens. Sometimes when I rapidly tab and reload, weird stuff like that goes down. That's what I figured. I thought we'd have to deal with 1 more pot of reinforcements.
On this position.
It's okay, though. We can get Ashen Fortress and Exalted Citadel into the pod, overwatched on Exalted Citadel, even. They might have cover initially because of these guys. But we're going to walk everyone up right to the edge of this and overwatch with them as well.
done.
I should probably consider healing on Exalted Citadel just to confirm whether or not heals go through. Like, if you heal these during a mission, does it affect your strategy layer at all? I assume it doesn't, but I need to check. That's a lot of stun lancer. Oh, the Purifier's here to make this plan terrible. Right, that's why you don't do this. Well, hit me with it. Everyone punch the mech.
Their armor isn't bad either.
Oh god. Everyone try to miss the Purifier.
Control variable in targeting sequence.
I think the Purifier went down and didn't explode. Yeah, he's right there. We're okay. Bombardment protocols back up. Get them out of here. That ability is just insane. Shred his armor, deal some damage.
Sensors indicate armor deflection.
Sprint down here, get the trooper, you're very mobile. Nice reinforcements, guys. Definitely could have went worse for me. That Purifier could 100% have dealt real damage to us. Get some experience on Rumble Peacock here. Maybe we'll skip right past Corporal and into Sergeant on our first mission if we're lucky.
Got it, right?
Everyone else reload in Overwatch.
Oh yeah, come get some.
Engaging Overwatch.
Alright, and it's time to leave. That got a bit messy towards the end, but we made it. If we get to full health on this one, we'll leave. We won't. We're going to heal 4. We're going to wait one more turn to leave on Exalted Citadel just to test this. And now we can heal to full on Exalted Citadel. If this affects the strategy layer, we'll have no wounds. If it doesn't, we'll have pretty substantial wounds. Let's get out of here and see.
Airlift in progress.
Avenger, this is Firebrand.
That got really messy towards the end, but we managed to get out of it without a death. That was luck. There's not even a medic on this team. Lead Coffin could be dead right now. He's not bonded with a Templar yet, so I guess it's not the biggest deal, but I was not expecting to be putting him in risk there. That pod on the left took me by surprise, and the pod on the back left really took me by surprise. But that second one didn't punch me nearly as hard, though. It was the first one where I was in a low ground position and my sparks had already moved. I did not think that there was even map over there for them to be on, really. I thought that was like map edge immediately. It went back like 5 tiles further than I thought it did, and there was enough room for a pod. It was just rough. We got through it, though. Everyone killed, half of our team wounded, 22 turns, a pretty long mission. Unsurprisingly, Ashen Fortress taking MVP with 11 kills and 124 damage, even though his shot accuracy was trash this time. Exalted Citadel doing gross work, though. 9 damage, 98 kills, never missed a shot. Except for that kinetic strike, it doesn't count. That was melee, not a shot. We don't talk about that. Also got huge awards on him. Ah, whoops. I'll reload the save and show the rest of it, sorry. Poor Lead Coffin. All he did was come here to die. He dealt 3 damage, landed no shots, took no shots, got no kills, moved less than anyone else, unsurprisingly, picked up no loot. He came here to high-five Slasher Hawk, form a bond, and die. Slasher Hawk missed all his shots, but he's not here to shoot guns. He got 6 kills and 60 damage with Rend, which is pretty solid. Rumble Peacock got 3 kills and 19 damage in her first mission. Pretty solid shot accuracy. Very happy with how she did. Steel Guardian got 4 kills, 26 damage, and half shots missed. Not the best on him. He could have done better. Wayward Traveler has better tech, and it's showing 7 kills, 56 damage. Good tech doesn't fix accuracy, though. He missed all of his shots, unlike Steel Guardian. Hulking Cardinal only got 3 kills and 11 damage, but that's probably partly because he left several turns earlier than everyone else trying to get Lead Coffin out of here. Speaking of, let's get out of here. Exalted Citadel's only out for 8 days, which isn't as long as I thought it would be. Rumble Peacock is out for an amount of time. Guess. Lead Coffin's out for a month. Thank God the infirmary's like a day away from finishing. And something that just occurred to me is maybe Slasher Hawk could be giving Ashen Fortress a run for his money in terms of most missions and most kills and most ranks, if he hadn't been going on these covert ops all the time to increase his covert intelligence, or his combat intelligence, rather. Because honestly, he's one of my highest ranked soldiers despite the fact that he has been on like 4 or 5 covert ops at this point, I think. Moving on to the rewards, we have the Blacksite Vial, thank God for that. This should unlock the bridging tech. We also got a big pile of basic mods, advanced wildcats, and an Illyrium core. None of it's too impactful individually. Alien encryption is not what we're here for. Reducing the avatar progress is very nice. The supplies are also nice, but we don't really care. Yeah, we can research alien encryption. That's not the thing I'm after. Alright, so I can now confirm that we could have spent like the extra 6 hours we wasted flying over here researching Illyrium. Alien encryption and Illyrium together will unlock the bridging tech of Illyrium power integration for our mag weapons. So we're still quite a way away, but we can do it. We're not building the Shadow Chamber anytime soon, so I guess I'll start Illyrium right now. Taligan's probably a little bit confused. Lead Coffin is now an Obsessive Reloader. Let's go check him out. Obsessive Reloader. After your first move action, you'll reload your weapon to full. Not a fan. But we do have some promotions to hand out. Pretty high ranks this time. Phaedos, I really appreciate the lore, but I'm trying to talk about a different faction right now. It's the Templars time. We're not talking about skirmishers right now. Please stop. We're talking about the Templar. Thank you. Fortress is obviously good, but you can see I don't even have it marked. Immune to fire, poison, acid, frost, and explosive damage is obviously sick. Let's not pretend. But it's not proactive. It's strictly defensive in a way where I have a very hard time controlling it. The main thing this does is let you run through poison, fire, and acid. And that's good enough that I probably should have it marked. But compared to the other stuff on this tier, Bladestorm is insane. Anyone who enters melee range, you get a free attack against them. Unlike the Max, this will hit everyone, not just go off once per turn. And a Solace, just being near somebody breaks mental control over them, and it makes you immune to mental control. Of the abilities though, I think Bladestorm is obviously the most immediately impactful, and we don't have enough ability points to buy anything else. Obviously I could dip into XCOM's AP, but I'm not about that. Ashen Fortress has hit Colonel. What day is it? It's June 8th and we have a Colonel. The game starts on March 1st, right? And it's not like I started with a spark, he showed up like a month ago. That's ridiculous. Basically took 2 months to go from not existing to the first Colonel we got. That's so fast. And this isn't about him being overpowered. This is about Sparks. He's been on 14 missions. My best captain's only been on 8. And Slasher Hulk, who's ranking up disproportionately fast compared to other people, has been on 6. So it's really not about him being overpowered. It's about him being on so many missions as a feature of him being a Spark. Anyway, let's take that promotion. As you can see, the last tree is pretty good. You got Chemical Storm. This makes you run forward and spray your chem thrower in a radius around you. It uses 3 ammo. It's got a pretty big range. The big thing for me with this is that it requires you to have 3 rounds in your chem thrower, and that basically means you either aren't using your chem thrower before this, which is restrictive, you're reloading, which is action inefficient, or you're running the expanded magazine attachment, which I really don't want to do on my Pioneer, not with Outrider frames existing. It's still very, very good, but it's definitely a later AP spend due to all of those restrictions. Sacrifice is insane. This ability gives you a 30 defense and 2 armor bonus while it's active. It only has a 2-turn cooldown, and when you turn it on, any shots against allies within a radius, I don't quite know how big, get redirected to you. This is an insane ability for tanking. It's the only true tanking ability in the game where it's forcing enemies to shoot at you specifically. Or Ruthless. This just gives us a flat +1 damage and 20% chance to crit on all melee hits. And while Sacrifice is completely insane, so is Ruthless, because we're already getting a lot of crit from that Outrider frame, aren't we? This is another 20% on our melee, and it's giving us +1 to the base damage on our shield bash, bringing it up to base 5. Which is guaranteeing kills on heavies. It's giving us larger ranges that we can kill on other units when we're assembling damage. I really like Sacrifice. But I think very often it will be the case that Sacrifice is not the thing I want to do with my turn. That my Pioneer is going to go first and try to solve the problem, and then if we need Sacrifice, he's already went, we're not able to fix the situation with him. I think that's going to be the case very, very often. Whereas Ruthless will come into play pretty much every single turn for the rest of the game. So we're going to take Ruthless, even though Sacrifice is insane, and we have a lot of AP we want to spend here. Sacrifice also gets a lot better because it's forcing the attacks into you, if you're able to use it in conjunction with Disruption Field and get another 15% defense when you force these attacks at you. Coming way down, we can find Wayward Traveler near the bottom of our Sergeants, finally making it to Lieutenant, picking up Lightning Reflexes. At the very bottom, how long are you wounded, Rumble Peacock? A number of hours. Okay, neat. We did it! We managed to skip straight past Corporal, that's amazing news. Her aim only seems to have gone up by 1 for that, that's a bit rough. It looks like she's a 5 aim class. Bandage Throw isn't the best, but it's something. Efficient Targeting is interesting with relation to later perks. I guess I'm gonna need to plan out this tree and see what I want to do before I talk to you about it, huh? I'll be back in a second. So this is an interesting one. I basically want every perk, like even Bandage Throw, it's just not something I'd be spending on EP on for a very long time, so it's not marked right now. Except for the very last one, so Free Mimic Beacon or Seeing Everyone Forever, those aren't super important for me. Armed Intervention is much more valuable for that. There's like 8 perks here that I'm planning on spending AP on. And looking at the tree, the main reason I'm not interested in all this Overwatch stuff is the low aim growth. I've got lots of people already competing for my aim PCS chips, lots of people competing for my scopes, lots of people competing for any extra aim enhancement missions I've got. I don't see myself ever getting to a point where I'm going to have Rumble Peacock consistently landing their Overwatch shots. However, Armed Intervention is different. This is essentially disorient anyone who shoots within line of sight. The Overwatch part is secondary. Honestly, that's just wrong, right? Like I should probably have a Mimic Beacon instead if I'm doing it for that reason. It's not like they're mutually exclusive though. All of the stuff under support is legitimately very good in different ways. You have stuff like Smokescreen for utility grenades, combat presence for giving other people actions, the ability to reposition your allies with your grapple gun, stuff like that. But this Holo Targeter tree is actually fantastic. The ability to make your Holo Targeter last an additional turn, AoE target people with your Holo Targeter, and then buff how much it's doing is kind of huge. So I do think I'm going to try to get both of these trees, and before I'm spending my AP, I'm going to be focusing more on this one. I do have to take combat presence, it's just kind of insane. So I'll probably spend AP on this like as soon as I get the GTS. But the rest of this really isn't super urgent. Anti-Venom Stems, Reposition Ally, it's all just nice. So I think my plan for field support is basically just to push straight down this tree. When I get the GTS, I'm going to spend ability points to unlock combat presence. I might spend them on Smokescreen as well. All of this stuff that I have marked is pretty good. But for now, I'm definitely taking Efficient Targeting because I want to do all this stuff with the Holo Targeter. I'm considering going for Smokescreen and Reposition Ally and picking up Battle Scanners later. And the main reason I'm looking at that is because there's not any value to scanners right now. I won't have anything to do with them until Captain, and then when I get to Captain, I'll have an AoE debuff that gives 10% hit and crit, but I could have had 2 smoke grenades and the ability to reposition an ally, which is like arguably just as good. So yeah, this is stronger now and similarly strong once I have both of them. These two will be AP spends later. And the big thing to come out of that mission, Slasher Hawk is finally able to form his bond with Lead Coffin. They can spend a lot of time together in the infirmary. This is not a good poster by any definition. That's one of the worst aesthetics I've ever seen. Are we locked into the blue and red background? I guess they're committed to it. Alright, this is a decent background and a half-decent thing. I think Thunder and Lightning's already a nickname we've got, but whatever. Infirmary finishes in a single day, thank God. We still have 13 ready after the Blacksite, that's great news. Avatar progress finally getting knocked down a bit. Permanent Avenger power would be nice, but it occurred to me while editing, I have 6 days into the supply drop and I just forgot to make contact. Big whoops. Making contact is what we should be doing. Let's go get started on it now.
For the Western U.S. precinct.
What was I doing? Getting intel? That's way less important than actually using the intel to make contact. If we got unlucky, we might have been able to make contact before the supply drop, but oh well. We've got a new spark. Let's go assign a new project real quick. We've got experimental ammo going right now. We could slide something in front of it if we wanted to. There's really not a lot on that front, unfortunately. So I want to get the expanded repair bay because I can't actually repair all 3 mechs at once. I want to get the mechanized arm transformation gears to let them carry rocket launchers or more rocket launchers. And I want to make one more spark, a second Pioneer. That way I can have a Pioneer be sent on an infiltration team and still have one available for assaults. But we're mostly done with the mandatory spark stuff at this point, and we don't have the alloys to do the other stuff, so I'm just going to let this experimental ammo keep on ticking. A spark having finished, though, we need to go talk about them. Let's go check out Carbon Mile. This is our third and second to last spark, probably. If they die, I don't know that I'll bother remaking them late in the campaign when they're going to die at low ranks much faster. Promotion, choose class, artillery. Long-range fire support equipped with heavy cannons and ordnance launchers. Let's make sure his guns are equipped right, because that doesn't look like the right one at all. Looking at him, you can see that he has 4 grenades and a grenade launcher like a sapper, but the craziest thing is this rifle. It deals 7 to 9 base damage, it has squad sight, the huge thing is heavy cannon. Regular heavy cannon shells can punch through cover, suffering a 25 or 50% damage penalty instead of an aim penalty. Which means that he ignores cover but deals less damage, and that's absolutely wild. The thing that balances this at all is that his gun has 1 shot in it, so you have to reload it after every shot, and it takes 2 actions to shoot. Coming over to his abilities, you can see that he has support grenades, offensive grenades, the sniper rifle, and Overwatch. His 4 trees make the most sense out of any of the sparks, I think, but his gun can make him a very clunky to play. I really like the way this guy looks. He's very different from my other 2. The 3 abilities unique to the artillery spark are on target, giving you 25% less chance to be dodged, and a 33% chance to graze when you would otherwise miss. You've also got bomb belts for a second grenade, in our case a 3rd or 4th grenade even, and then you have bug out, which all sparks have again. We'll talk more about the abilities as we get into them, but let me plan them out now and give you a brief overview. Looking at the tree, you can see a decent mix of actions. The Overwatch tree is lying a little bit. It does have Overwatch abilities, but it has explosive action in it, which is incredible, as well as applied knowledge, which is sort of unrelated to Overwatching. It's more of a grab bag tree than just Overwatch. As you can see, I really want all of the heavy cannon perks. Anti-armor doctrine's really not super relevant, and aggression is very weak for a final perk. The offensive grenades, especially the early ones, +2 damage, as well as shredding and piercing armor are insane. The rest of this stuff is not super worth a perk to me. And in the bottom, I don't really care about smoke screens, but having the ability to run up and throw down defensive mines if you're not able to shoot your gun, having concussive grenades, having bigger radius, having the ability to throw a grenade, and then do something else. Like, there's some crazy late game turns you can have, where you like explosive action, salvo grenade, and then just shoot your sniper rifle. That's before we get into Serial. But I mean, honestly, if we're talking about crazy late game turns, let's talk about Serial. This is the only character in all Proficiency's class that's going to get Serial. During Overdrive, you gain Serial, powerful chain shot ability. For every kill made with your heavy cannon standard fire, your actions will be refunded. And this doesn't say it here, but looking in the description on the bottom, ammo is reloaded after each shot. That is absolutely crazy. Getting back on topic though, the plan with Carbon Mile is probably going to be to focus mainly on heavy cannon and explosive ordnance. These 2 perks seem more important than anything else at this rank. This seems like the best thing here. Airburst grenades next, Serial and Salvo. The AP spending is definitely going to unlock more stuff that gives me more power, but none of it's as core as this main route through, I think. With all that, I think we're done in the adventure. It's time to get back to scanning. Let's keep making contact.
I suppose since that worked, we might
Gothic
as well
Toaster
get
just got back. Aim is 3 higher. I believe we have another mission to send them out on straight away. Their bond level is increased, but it doesn't really matter because without the AWC, we can't actually level it up. And yeah, we have Recover Alien Corpses, aim +4 that we're sending her out on right away. What's that getting her aim up to? God no. We're not sending our Sparks and Templar on this. What are you talking about? So for frame of reference, Black Cat is up to 86 aim at Captain. Toaster's still a Sergeant because he keeps going on all these covert ops. She's at 83, going up to 87. She's 2 ranks under my Sniper with 1 more aim after this one, which is frankly just ridiculous. Anyway, we need to send a 3rd soldier to negate a capture risk. We're sending all 3 of these out. Good luck and Godspeed. And with Gothic Toaster sent out on their mission, let's get right back to making contact. New infiltration to recover item from vehicle. What's this lead to? It's a supply convoy. That's dope. That is incredible. Moderate mission, air patrols. Nothing too bad there. We only have 13 ready. 3 of those are Sparks. We probably have to send out a skeleton crew of 6. I'm wondering if we can get away with disguises. Let's see who's going before we make that decision. We have 1 assault, Filthy Colossus at full will. No one else is really ready. I'm going to send my Templar on account of the fact that he's one of my best human soldiers. He'll do a lot of work in this 6-man team. With the assault as well, we're making a pretty aggressive team. We don't even have a marksman, so we're pretty much locked into going fast. With 2 Marines, we definitely are using a Marine as our long-distance fighting. I'm gonna send Thunder Golem. Liquid Danger's pretty close to full will, and Thunder Golem's never getting there, so I'll just accept being tired on here and hope to get 2 missions out of Liquid Danger instead. I'd skip out on Field Medic if I could. We're definitely taking Blazing Bull as our sapper. Field Medic on a 6-man team feels bad, like they aren't going to carry their weight, they're not aggressive enough, they're not doing enough proactively. I don't want to take both of my combat engineers, but I'm looking at taking both of my combat engineers. I'll take the higher ranked Hulking Cardinal, for sure. In the last slot, I really don't want to send my Field Medic, I don't want to send my Tech Specialist with an Assault with 3 sparks on the horizon. I don't want to send a second Assault. I really don't want to send my Field Support, so it's either double stacked Marines, Field Medic, or Tech Specialist. Or double stacked Assaults and crazy aggression. I think that's what I feel the best about, to be honest. Thunder Golem doesn't want to bond with anyone on the team, but Hulking Cardinal and Steel Guardian actually can form a bond together, and I will do just that. Congratulations. Yeah, sure, make a cool-ass poster. Cardinal and Guardian, the ultimate fire team, 62 combined kills, looking spiffy in their new duds. Sure. I'm gonna be honest, with double Assault, Templar, Sapper, Combat Engineer, and a Marine to suppress anything that somehow lives, I kind of feel okay not taking armor on this mission. Like, the Templar has to, and I might want to put armor on my Combat Engineer to dangle them. But I think everyone else would honestly be fine in Civ armor. We're definitely not taking full Predator, that's saying for our Assaults. Not the Assault on the mission, the Assault mission type. So, full disclosure with how I've kitted this team out, I do feel they need some gear to guarantee they handle the mission smoothly. However, I'm only sending 6 of them, and I'm not giving them all full gear. Legitimately, I sent these 2 without full gear for the following reason. Their thumbnails have already been updated to tier 2, these 3 haven't. That's legitimately my reasoning for who got what gear. Anyway, we have 3 shotguns, 2 of which are upgraded, an Exalt mag rifle with a bipod and an expanded mag. For Thunder Golem, we're carrying the Tracer rounds to make sure he hits, and a med kit in case something goes horribly wrong. Tempest Gauntlets, of course, on our Slasher Hawk. Gas grenades stacked on Blazing Bull. This team should be able to handle whatever the mission throws at them. Good luck and Godspeed, they're only gone for 6 days. Still considering putting on a civilian disguise, but it's just wrong. And I believe it's back to making contact. The infirmary should wrap up about now. Let's go check that out. This is a massive increase to our healing speed. We are going to use a gremlin here pretty much all the time. 100% healing rate increase. They were all here and then they weren't. They're back. It was just a weird glitch because it was the first time the building had loaded. You can see we needed this infirmary. It's already fully stocked. We have a lot of people in need of recovery. Dull Eyes was wishing this was here about a week and a half ago. And back to scanning. Let's keep making contact. Rhino's back, but there's no mission to send them all, and Seething Work is back.
Alien facility coordinates.
A new facility popping up in Australia. That's great for us. That's where the Reapers are located. We're already moving there anyway. And continue scanning. Nothing new to do. Experimental ammo complete. Arctic rounds this time. These are alright for shenanigans with putting on the whole group to get very high % chance to freeze and a volume of fire against a boss. But I think realistically I would never really use these. Their main effect is reduce dodge chance to 0. But that does mean we need to go make something new, and we also have a supply drop in 0 hours. I don't think we want to start the Skulljack just yet, because we still have a lot of stuff we want to do. We can't make it right now, but we want to expand the repair bay for more mechs. Because right now we can only heal 2 at a time, and we have 3 mechs. We're probably going to go up to 4. I'm probably going to build a 4th spec. It's going to be a 2nd Pioneer so that I can afford to send 1 on infiltration missions, and then still have 1 around for your assaults. I need mechanized arm transformation gears to get more explosives on our non-Pioneer mechs, and maybe on the Pioneer mech. I'm not convinced the rocket launcher is better than the blast canister, but I'm also not convinced it's worse. There's a lot of spark stuff we still want to do down here, but we can't do it yet. We can make experimental weapons, but those are pretty niche in use if we don't have exosuits to put them on. Experimental grenades is nice. I would prefer to have access to acid grenades on my higher ranked sappers so that they can be duplicating those. Right now I've got a single gas grenade that I got from a covert op. It's not that good. I do really want to just keep pushing down experimental ammo until I hit corrosive rounds though. It's easily the most universally applicable ammo type. It's +1 damage like Dragon or Venom, but instead of poisoning or burning, it shreds 1 armor. It's very hard to find yourself in a situation where you ever regret using corrosive rounds. But I don't feel good about committing to continuing to roll dice here. I need blue screen sometime, I need experimental sometime, I need exosuits and mech stuff and heavy weapons. I'm gonna keep going though, even if it takes me 32 full days, I have to go through every single ammo type in the game to get there. I do really, really want corrosive rounds. And with a supply drop in 0 hours, I think I'm gonna head to the black market ahead of time. I don't want to pick up the supply drop, I've got 230 supplies still. I want to let it sit and stack with next month's. So instead I'm gonna go to the black market ahead of time and immediately sell them whatever it is they're interested in on the new month.
Market is open.
Yeah, this is the old one. I can still sell it to them though. Yeah, you can have my Advent Purifiers and Chrysalids. I may as well, right? It's gonna be worth a little bit more doing it now than later, and I don't need these or anything, so yeah. I'll just sell you what you wanted from last month, leave, and come right back.
Incoming message for you, Commander.
How'd we do on last month? They made 2 progress, and we stopped 2 progress. They got 1 dark event, but it was a temporary one, so we're good there. 1 more facility. However, we also stopped retaliations, did 7 guerrilla ups, that's wild. Didn't do very many covert actions, we were in the fatigue spiral, we mostly skipped out on this. The covert actions we did start are going to be happening in next supply drop segment, because we started them so late. 3 proving ground projects, that place is working at full capacity.
I was good before.
He can now summon Advent Troopers as he gained General. I guess that's technically better than Purifiers, but I'm not sure I care at all. That's almost nothing. Can't see what the Assassin is doing, can't see what the Warlock is doing. Hunter is up 2. Retribution, as always, cracking down on my income. Okay, we have to stop going to ground. That permanently closes the black market. We kind of need that. The next event is alloy padding. I think that's armor for basic Advent soldier types. It might be all Advent soldier types, but I don't think it extends to aliens. And a hidden event, which I don't know that I can afford to spend intel revealing. I might be trying to stop all 3. Advent alloy padding is definitely the lowest priority of the bunch. We have to stop going to ground, though. That cannot be allowed to get through. I still don't want to change anything there. The experience that we're getting is really nice. It's why we've gotten so many high ranks so quickly. The reward increase is really nice. I'm still at 0 alloys. I clearly still need more reward increases. And like I said earlier, 165 supplies is not worth our time. We're just going to go straight to the black market and sell what they want. They want data pads, AP rounds, and flash grenades. AP rounds and flash grenades are... 1 second, does the game not work right? Did I just get infinite money? Okay, thank God, I didn't. Good. It's tracer rounds that only cost 25 to build. I thought there was a severe balance problem with one of the mods. Good. I won't be selling you the things that I built. I want those. That's why I built them. You can't have all 4 of my data pads, though. I'm not going to be hacking those anytime soon. I'll have more by the time I need them. For some reason, this menu is really, really laggy, and I'm not sure what's happening. It's rough, though. I'm going to sell all of the random attachments I've been getting, except for, like, 2 fuel tank expansions, because I'm not ever going to be using them over the Outrider frames. These basic bedded stocks are never getting used. By the time I would care about a bedded stock, I'll probably have access to better ones. I legitimately don't understand why I would use a suppressor, so I'll toss those as well. I'm supposed to be selling this frost grenade I have because I don't actually have it. We'll get it later from a experimental grenade perk. This is rough. Why is this so laggy? It's bizarre. I'm at 7 basic wildcats and I just don't think they're worth using. Alright, that gets us to 596. That's enough for now. We're probably going to be out of money towards the end of this, but we're up to 900 supplies. We're going to be using almost all of it as soon as we get our alloys, though, because we're immediately buying things as fast as we can with the alloys. And I think we head straight back and begin making contact again. The UFO is coming down in 10 hours. So let's see what we've got. We've got a hypervital module construction. They'll get rid of a scientist for a while, which sucks, but hacking +4 to our A-team tech is worthwhile. Unfortunately, the breakthrough is, like, completely worthless. But we are probably doing this for hacking +4 on Silent Cyclone. Maybe not. If that's all it is to us, we probably still skip. Exhaustive training, we don't care about. Form Soldier Bond, we don't care about. Hunt the Chosen and Recon Off-Site Facility are not things we actually need to do immediately. We always go for ability points, we will send someone for that. Aim +3 on experimental items, we'll be sending Toaster on this when they get back. Hacking +5 on a normal mission, that'll be great for our tech specialist for Silent Cyclone. He's going to be busy this month because he's also going to be picking up Infiltrate. And oh my god, Iron Rhino finally gets mobility. I think she had to skip out on anything last month, which sucked. So we have a bunch of missions. Let me take down some notes. I do notice that we can't reduce avatar progress this month. So the only missions we want to do are these missions that aren't time sensitive and gain ability points. And then these bottom 4 are all staffing missions where the soldiers we'd be sending on them aren't even ready right now. But we can send out some weak soldiers immediately for this stack mission. Capitalist Prodigy's finally back on board. I'm going to send them in the dodge slot. And I'll be sending that Corporal Sapper I saw, a Dead Titan, as the second person, because we just don't care about either of these soldiers at all. And that's it for getting this out. Good luck. They'll get wounded, I don't care. And I think we're not doing anything else just yet. I think we're making contact. And then immediately doing the UFO, it looks like. Seems that way to me. I went around the Avenger, checked everything. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think we're good. Oh, I didn't actually check the covert ops to see if anyone was available to do them, like Gothic Toaster, Silent Cyclone, that gang. I think Rhino's actually available. Gothic Toaster we just sent on a mission, so she's not available. Silent Cyclone is out for another 35 hours on his covert op. But Iron Rhino is actually ready to go on a covert op, that's great. We will have to send 3 because there's a capture risk, which sucks. We're sending out Revolver, Ocelot, and Psycho Mantis to fill out these slots. All these people we made that we said we were never going to use, these sappers and combat engineers, they're all sergeants these days. It's wild. This campaign did not go how I imagined it during the planning phase. They're going to be out for 12 days. That sucks, but we've got to do it. Good luck.
I'll order my people to get
A lot of covert ops in progress this month, very different from last time. We're doing much better on our fatigue spiral, but let's see how that holds up as the UFO lands and we get hit with 3 dark event missions that we want to stop back to back to back, and then a hate and retaliation probably towards the end of the month, right?
Our people seem to work well together.
But for now, people are getting back. Narcissistic Hulk has his hacking increased by 5, so we want to make him into a tech specialist. Apex Disaster, they're just back on deck, not a big deal. Let's go promote him before I forget what he's supposed to be and make him into a field support. Congratulations, Narcissistic Hulk, you are our new Doll Eyes. Hopefully we take better care of you than the old one. She's still around, but I mean, she's mad about that mission, I imagine. Imagine receiving the order to move 2 tiles over into an easily flankable position for literally no reason. Christ, that was a bad one. I don't know, my brain was just off. I've got no excuse for what happened to Doll Eyes. Anyway, that covert op is done. The UFO is here. Let's go over, let's hit it. We've got lightning strike, so we're gonna get in position quickly. Air patrol, so we're gonna see reinforcements. And Savage, I think we're still like force level 5, right? Yeah, so I think it's gonna be pretty similar to the last Savage mission we saw. Just a whole shitload of faceless, that's no problem whatsoever. I'll be back with you once I've kitted out the squad. So check this out for a glitch that can be replicated, right? I've got my new spark, Carbon Mile. He needs his gun, he needs a grenade, whatever. But we don't want him to be like this. He's only got 11 health, he's not very safe. We want to give him a reinforced frame. Alright, so now he looks wrong. That's not the glitch, that's pretty normal. A lot of my character pool characters look very broken when they go into their second tier. The way I generated them, I just did something very, very wrong and caused this. It might have been related to Redux, it might have been related to user error, I don't know. Either way, I need to customize him. So we go in here, we go into his body. We were using legs 1 and arms 1 before, but they change based on tiers, so I won't get the smaller ones now. That's all reasonable. We go over to torso. We want to go back to torso 8. This is what he looks like. Cool, cool, cool. Let's go back to the screen. And he's fine. All of his stuff is exactly as it should be, right? Well, let's unequip him again and bring him out again. And this time, let's equip the reinforced armor. Right-click out. Go in, customize. Oh, his gun changed a little bit just there. That was a little bit weird. I wonder what caused that. Let's go to his loadout. Oh, everything's gone. It's all ceased to exist. And I mean ceased to exist. We only have 1 reinforced frame, even if we go over to the inventory. For whatever reason, if I try to customize Carbon Mile, and he has empty inventory slots, he eats all the gear that he's still wearing and destroys it. Like, fuck me, I don't know. We can work around that. I've got to save right before this mission because I reloaded my save and replayed the strategy layer. That's what you saw. I cut out the recording of the first time I went through the strategy layer because this happened and I wanted to figure out what was going on and fix it. And I figured out what was going on, but God help me, I can work around it, but I don't know if I can fix it. Real question though, is it all sparks? I feel like we would have noticed it if it was, but we have something empty here. Let's equip reinforced frame, right click out, go back in, customize. Oh, his gun appeared, did he eat it? He ate everything. So it's a consistent glitch with all sparks, apparently. If they have empty weapon slots, and I put on a reinforced frame and try to customize them, they eat everything they're wearing. I would just like to reiterate, fuck me, man, I don't know. You can work around that, but like, holy shit. What a glitch, right? Apparently there's a version of the chem thrower attachment that makes it wider instead of longer. I'm not even gonna touch this. A, it's obviously insane and crazy strong and probably grossly overpowered. B, more importantly, last time we touched any sort of the range formula, the radius is not the same as the length, but last time we touched the AoE of this thing, it broke the gun in half. So that doesn't exist, we're using the Outrider frame. And as you can see, I'm putting the reinforced frames on my sparks that don't have 15-point health shields. Also, his base health is so much higher than them that he probably still has more. Coming over to the real biological soldiers though, with our big 3 mech boys in the back. Honestly, you think you just send them and win the mission? Very difficult, maybe not. It'd be close though. I legitimately think we'd win. We might lose sparks, they'd suffer catastrophic wins, but I legitimately think these 3 mechs alone would eventually grind through the mission. I have some faith in those guys. Maybe I shouldn't have that much though. That's a bit too much. Black Cat is on deck, and her bond partner Lunatic Supernova is with her. They're at full will. That's incredible. Shrapnel Flurry's at full will, and her bond mate's gonna be off on missions all month, so she may as well come along. My Reaper's at full will, and we want to be stacking experience as fast as possible on Twilight Queen. And I believe Rumble Peacock is ready for a mission as well. She is. She's not at full will, but she is. And I want her here because her synergy with this guy's gun is insane. As a reminder, Carbon Mile's gun deals insane damage, 8 to 10, and ignores cover, but deals less damage if they're in cover. It takes 2 actions to shoot and 1 action to reload. He has 2 action turns, thus the problem. Field supply officers have some pretty obvious direct synergy with that, which is why I want to make sure that one's on the mission to help him. Depending on how gross it feels, I might ban that specific interaction as the campaign goes on. I've been considering banning the Supernova perk that all Sparks get because it's just outrageously strong. But all that is mod talk for later videos. Let's finish kitting out this squad and wrap up the video. We've kitted out the new squad, but we're 1 Predator suit short of getting Supernova in 1 too, so he's the weak link here in terms of defenses. He's still got 8 base health, he'll probably be fine, especially with these big targets in the back to take the fire for him. Everyone else is rocking tier 2 armor, everyone is rocking tier 2 weapons except for our Reaper, because their tier 2 weapon is A, something we don't own, and B, the reason we didn't build it is because it's not actually very good. We got the long lance with a speed loader, poison rounds, and various grenade types on Black Cat, double medkits, tracers, improved mag rifle with a scope, and an experimental mag for the ammo slot, exalt shard gun with a reflex sight, standard grenades for a combat engineer. We put the suppressor and a basic scope onto the vector rifle. The suppressor doesn't really seem like it matters to me because if I'm concealed, I'm not taking a shot that only kills on a crit. So I really just don't see this being useful, but it's thematically appropriate, so I figured I'd give it a shot and see how I feel. And lastly, we have Rumble Peacock, our new Sergeant Field Support. Only been on 2 missions, already a Sergeant. They've got Dragon Rounds, 2 grenades, Holo Targeter, and a pretty well kitted out mag rifle with a scope, a mobility stock, and what's her last thing? A speed loader, so that when she runs out of ammo and dashes to a new position, she can, you know, avoid spending a turn reloading and get right back into the action. Anyways, I've been Rather Incoherent. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I'll see you in the next one.